So, hello everybody. We are live. Welcome to another Learn English with Football Live. So, this is a YouTube live show where my guests and I talk about football, especially the Premier League, and it's a show that's for anyone who's interested in football, but also it's good for English learners because as we talk with our guests, I explain vocabulary, pronunciation, grammar as we go along. I try not to do it too much so that it doesn't disrupt the flow of the conversation. But that's what it is. And our guests today are Ben Gill. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Zenek. Good to see you.
Welcome back. Obviously, Ben is known for his To The Point English YouTube channel. I'm gonna just write it on the screen. Am I saying it right? To The Point English.
To The Point English with Ben. Yeah, but
with Ben, right?
To The Point English should be enough to find it. Yeah.
Right. To The Point English. Oh, I heard an echo.
Yeah. That was you or me?
Well, it was my voice, but I don't know. If any of you guys are close the YouTube, you have to close YouTube. Yeah, if you have YouTube on the YouTube tab on, you have to close it. Close it. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So here it is. To The Point English with Ben.
That's it.
You record videos for English learners, and they mostly focus on English Cambridge exams, right?
Yeah, the Cambridge English exams, mostly the B2 first, C1 advanced, and C2 proficiency. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I'm focusing on. But a lot of my videos are good for general English learners. I do vocabulary videos and grammar videos. But yeah, mostly for the Cambridge English exams.
Nice one. And you support?
We are massive. Now people might finally recognize that T-shirt. I think for years nobody knew what it's West Ham United that we are now. Well, I guess we're going to talk about this later, but we are now third in the Premier League, and we just qualified for the next round of the Europa League without losing a match. So we are massive. That's the new sort of slogan that we all say now, the West Ham fans, because it's kind of ironic because we're not, but at the moment we're doing pretty well. So we're very happy Hammers.
You are, and I will be honest with you, I didn't originally plan to invite you, but I had to do it after that performance.
A representative, yeah.
After that Liverpool performance, I had no choice, pretty much.
Yeah. They're forcing me to appear on this show because it's you can't ignore me now.
I wouldn't ignore you, obviously, but okay. So, Mr. Henriquez, hello, welcome to the show. This is your first time.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, is this your surname, Henriquez, or is that your first name?
Yeah. I wanted to say that I'm one of those unfortunate Manchester United fans. So, we have the glory of West Ham, and then the disgust that is Manchester United now.
That doesn't happen often. That's obviously. Well, I'm going to say recent history, but not recent history. It's always usually been the opposite. So it's nice. And let's be clear. This is a temporary situation. This is not going to last very long. West Ham will not be third for long, and Manchester United. Well, I don't know. It's been a few years now. Man United have been struggling, but they will work it out, and I'm sure get back to their former glories at some time. But let me enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah, definitely. You should.
Yeah. All right. I just want to ask Mr. Henriquez about his own YouTube channel, which I believe is great, just as Ben's is. Would you mind telling us a bit more about it?
Yeah. So I started my YouTube channel with the idea of applying blended learning and flipping the classroom. And it started with some grammar videos. I wanted to do some literature videos as well. So I have some literature videos. And I found out that writing is very, very useful and very interesting to talk about. So I also do some writing videos, and I hope to add some extra writing and literature videos as well. Yeah.
Nice one. And I have to say, after seeing your videos and thumbnails that you guys have, both of you, you know what you're doing. I have to learn from you myself because it all looks so tidy and neat and professional. So
thank you.
You're my inspiration. Mr. Henriquez. So your channel is called Mr. Henriquez as well, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to put it on the screen here. All right. So if any of you want to subscribe to Mr. Henriquez's channel, this is what it's called.
Thank you.
But without further ado, let's talk about football. That's why we are all here for, and that's what we are all here for, and that's why our viewers are watching this. So where do we start? I always ask what were your highlights of the match week for you?
I would say none, but that's
Yeah, for me, it's obvious. I think beating Liverpool is always it's very rare, and we have to enjoy it and celebrate it. But but apart from that, yeah, I mean, I'd like to think about other highlights apart from West Ham, but not much comes to mind, to be honest. I mean, I don't. We spoke a little bit about Manchester United last week, the last time I was on a couple of weeks ago, and people of my generation sort of grow up. I don't want to say hating Man U, because I don't want to use the word hate, but because they were the best team during the 90s and into the noughties. It's like when Liverpool in the 80s, they were winning everything. Nobody likes a winner. Everyone kind of attacks the winners, except the fans of that team. But I mean, when Man City win, I'm not a big fan of Man City either, because Man City have this new money from
rich owners.
Exactly.
I bet Mr. Henriquez is not fan of Man City either. Am I
No.
right, Mr. Henriquez?
No, but that's I'm from the red part of Manchester. But I think what I don't like Manchester City is, of course, they play excellent football, right? Pep Guardiola is an excellent coach. There's nothing we can say there's nothing bad to say about Pep Guardiola if you look at his track record at Bayern Munich and Barcelona as well. But it's just the idea that they have new money and then they buy players to get better. I think that's not something. Man United has a history, right? They did something. If you look at the history of Manchester United and the area where they come from in Salford, there's a rich history there. Whereas Manchester City might have the same, but not the grandeur of the history. I think they got new money and were able to buy good players. Well, I mean, it's good that you win stuff, but it's not the same.
Yeah. Well, you know what I've just realized? I've just realized that I'm wearing a T-shirt that the color kind of reminds me of the Manchester City shirt, right? it's light blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. That was not intentional.
It has a green, like almost turquoise tinge or hue on my screen. I don't know if in reality if it's more sort of sky blue.
I don't know myself. I think
Don't worry, I don't think people will, because you didn't mention I guess everybody knows you're an Arsenal fan, so I'm
an Arsenal fan,
had a good weekend too.
And I also like West Ham. So yeah,
okay.
So I had double good weekend. Yeah.
I think there's the Czech representatives there. We have. I don't know if I can talk about this quickly now. Obviously, we have 3 Czech players in the teams, and I know you told me how to pronounce it last week or last time. I probably get it wrong. Souček, Koufal,
Soufal.
Oh,
Bloody
Soufal, Kral.
Yeah.
But apart from that, now there's one of the richest men in the Czech Republic is interested in buying a big percentage of West Ham.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe with the idea of in the future of taking over. Did you want to talk about this later, Zdeněk? Or
if you want, we can mention it, of course. Yeah. It will be even tougher for you to pronounce his name, though.
I don't. What is his name? I'm not going to even try.
I'll help you with that. But let's talk about I want to talk about the Manchester derby first, because it was kind of the first interesting match of the match week. There was one match on Friday, I believe.
Yeah,
I think there was one more. Southampton with someone, right? Newcastle. I can't remember.
I think it was Watford, maybe.
No. Watford.
You played Watford, yeah.
Arsenal, Watford. No, that was
I think it could be Newcastle, and then they sacked the manager, right? Or was that earlier in the week?
Let me check. Yeah, we can check.
It was Norwich sacked their manager.
Oh, Norwich sacked.
No, not just Norwich.
Yeah, of course.
There was there were more.
Villa,
Aston Villa as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Dean Smith.
Southampton, Aston Villa. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Okay, right. Southampton won that match. Yeah. Yeah.
So the Saints. That's what we call the Southampton team. They
Yeah.
won 1-0. They beat Aston Villa 1-0.
They beat
Yeah.
the
Right.
villains. Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so I didn't see this match, but then the Manchester derby came. That was the first match of Saturday. And so coming into this match, Mr. Henriquez, how confident were you that you could follow up that fantastic Spurs result from the week before?
Well, it was. If you look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and his Manchester derby track record, he won everything up till Saturday, right? The real derbies, not the FA Cup things, but the real derbies. He won them, right? And he won them quite well. So even though we'd lost enormously against Liverpool, I was expecting something of a match. But as soon as Varane was injured during the Atalanta game, I kind of had my doubts, because then, Bailly had to play. He made the terrible 1-0 own goal. Lindelöf did terrible things as well with playing to David de Gea, and who was excellent, by the way. I think David de Gea deserves a lot of credit for everything he's done. But I to go back to the question, I thought, well, I was hoping for a match. I was hoping for something to show that Manchester United was actually a good game, a good team to play against for City, but it ended up being very easy for them to do.
Yeah. Well, I just want to mention this one. A track record, that's a very nice phrase. Also, sometimes we say a proven track record. So you used this when you were mentioning Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and that he has a good Manchester derby track record. So, which is a very nice phrase, I think.
Yeah.
Which means he has got, there is some, well, he has won the derby, so he has got good results. He has collected good results over the years, so that means he has got a good track record of something, let's say. All right. So I saw this match actually, and well, it seemed like it was over after that own goal. So it was Cancelo's cross, which was like went straight into the box, and then one of your defenders.
Yeah. Eric Bailly, yeah,
scored an own goal.
Yeah.
Did you see the match, Ben, or no?
I saw parts of it. I think I saw a bit of the second half, because it looked like it was going to be interesting. But I don't remember what I was doing, but I managed to catch a bit. But it's strange, because everything I've read and heard suggests that Man City won easily, but the result was only 2-0. So.
Yeah,
it wasn't a thrashing that everyone seems to suggest. But
it wasn't. But it, like, don't you think, Mr. Henriquez, that it was like at no point did I think that Manchester United could do something about the match. It seemed like City had it under control all the time. They played their game. They're just dominating possession and bullying the Manchester United players by just doing the high press and all that.
Yeah.
And it's just there was just no chance.
What I did notice was that the United defense, except for, the two mistakes that were kind of vital, the own goal and the Lindelöf playing the ball back to De Gea, I think the United defense did quite a good job, right? To be able to maintain the score for so long, an entire half without a goal. They did a good job in defending this Man City players that were vital and were dangerous. So they did that well, and I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is also, of course, one of them who needs all the credit for everything he's doing, and he played an important part as well. Even Harry Maguire did a few good things, I think.
Even Harry Maguire did a few good things. That's interesting, because I didn't see enough of the match, and I haven't seen much of Man United recently. But I don't know if you ever watch Roy Keane's interviews on Sky Sports. You can see them on YouTube, and he's brutal. He's
I saw the one.
He doesn't hold back. He's extremely critical of Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, Fred, and he's just.
He hates
I
Fred.
rec-
Yeah, he hates
He
Fred.
hates Fred.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
He can't
doesn't
stand him,
hide
yeah.
it. Doesn't hide it at all.
No.
I recommend anybody to watch Roy Keane's interviews on Sky News. I think there are some compilations of his best moments. He's very, very honest, but I don't know if he's really helping out his old team with his comments, because I think he's destroying the confidence of a lot of those players who they know they hear these interviews, they know what he says, and it's he may be right, but it's a bit too much sometimes.
Because he's a big personality with a lot of influence, and him being so critical of the players, of Manchester United players, might not really do him any. It's doing him a disservice, or it's doing Manchester United a disservice. By the way, to be critical of someone, so we've just said that Roy Keane is critical of Manchester United players, especially Fred.
And I think Keane and Solskjaer were teammates for quite a few years, I think. But I mean, I guess they're friends too. I mean, most of those ex-players are friends now. But he doesn't let his friendships get in the way of his honest opinion, and that's good for a pundit. It's good to hear from a pundit, but it's must be he's losing friends every time he gives his opinion, I think.
Yeah. There's also this one presenter who really hates Pogba. And there are memes on the internet of a World War III starting somewhere in Russia, and then you see this person. He said, "What could Pogba has done to? What could Pogba have done to save this?"
Exactly, Graham Souness.
Yes, yeah.
Again, another very hard midfielder from even further back in the past. I think from the 80s, but he was a very good player, Scottish player, but very. He doesn't hold back in his interviews either. So
No. And of course, they're right to some extent, right? I mean, when Solskjaer, when he started, everyone was like, "Oh, this is going to be good." He had some very good first games. He did some magic with the PSG game, for example, and he did some good things as well. But now everybody is, the idea is that he doesn't know what he's doing. He's not a real tactical manager, which is true if you compare him to, Conte or Mourinho or even Louis van Gaal. I mean, those are actual managers who have tactics, who believe in something. Whereas, it's not very clear what Solskjaer is doing, right? There's no plan. There's no idea of where we're going with Man United.
Yeah, true. So what it looks like to me is that he's this kind of a man manager. Yeah, so he maintains good relationships with the players, and he gets on well with them, and he's able to sort of work with because these players, they all have big egos, right? Let's be honest. Let's be honest. Paul Pogba, I like the way they play, but it can't be easy to work with all these egos. If you have too many egos like that in one team, you do need someone like that actually who is able to make it work.
I think that's what Zidane did very well at Real Madrid. I don't think Zidane is a particularly good tactician or a good manager, but Zinedine Zidane was excellent at Real Madrid because he didn't ruffle any feathers, so to speak. He was everyone's friend.
Yeah.
And I think that's what they needed, because they had so many big egos. They had Sergio Ramos, Cristiano Ronaldo, Benzema. I can't remember who else at that time, Marcelo. But he didn't. You don't need Mourinho or Alex Ferguson with their big personalities in that situation. You need, at least for a couple of seasons, you just need someone who can maintain the equilibrium and keep everybody happy. I think Solskjaer is at a point now where you need someone with charisma who can really make the change. I think people are a little bit unfair pundits and the media journalists, because when Manchester United win, everybody says, "Oh, Solskjaer is the luckiest manager in the world." But when they lose, it's all Solskjaer's fault. He can't win. There's no way to. I think he's not as respected as other managers at that level. But maybe
maybe it's his personality, because he seems a bit quiet and introverted and kind of reserved. He doesn't show his emotions so much. Maybe that's it. But he's a legend. He's a club legend. So
Yeah.
I mean, for me as a neutral, I don't think that it's all just. Of course, I'm not a neutral, so it's actually good for me that he remains in at United as long as possible, obviously. But trying to detach myself from this, I don't think it's as bad as some people say, because he can work with these people, with these players. He doesn't ruffle any feathers, which is a phrase that Ben used when he was describing Zidane, which I think is a particularly interesting English idiom, which means he didn't kind of upset or didn't offend anyone. He made it work. Zidane made it work, despite the fact he had to work with players with big egos. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. You think of a bird with perfect feathers. If they're ruffled, they're all over the place. But he
exactly.
Imagine Ronaldo as a bird with feathers. His feathers weren't ruffled. They were
exactly. So Mr. Henriquez, so we actually did have another Manchester United fan here last week. It's a coincidence. I'm just wondering, are you Ole in or Ole out?
Ooh, that's a good question. Well, I'm definitely not Ole out. I don't know whether I'm Ole in, but I'm definitely not Ole out. And the reason why, I've been thinking about this for quite some time, and I've read many terribly angry comments on Reddit. I'm in the Manchester United Reddit group, and I've read many people having good arguments as to why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to be sacked, but also very good arguments why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to remain manager. And I believe that we had Louis van Gaal, who was not able to do it. I mean, let's be honest. I'm Dutch, of course, so I'm always plus Louis van Gaal, but he is a good manager. He did excellent work at Barcelona, excellent work with Ajax, excellent work with Bayern München, AZ as well here in Holland. He wasn't able to do it. He wasn't given the time to do it. Same for Jose Mourinho, who's absolutely one of the best managers of the Premier League. He wasn't able to do it. Yeah. So then I believe, why sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now and say, okay, let's get Conte in and let's have Conte do it, and then sack Conte when it goes wrong again? I mean, we're not building anything.
Yeah.
And if you look at the first years of Sir Alex Ferguson, the first 3-4 years, he didn't win anything, right? He ended up 2nd and 11th and 6th. I mean, that's the same idea. But then, people are so into quick results. We need to see quick results, quick results, quick results. Same with Arsenal.
That's the world we're living in. That's the world we're living in,
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of Arsenal fans wanted Arteta to get sacked as well. But now, like even I wasn't sure. I was like, we want Arsenal back.
Yeah.
We haven't been playing really well. Yeah. But now I'm actually, on board as well now. Nurup, who is another contributor here, who is a guest almost every week on this show. He convinced me that Arteta should be given a chance.
Yeah. Well, I think they should. I don't think they should have given Solskjaer a new contract already. I think they should have said, well, you need to win something, and then we'll talk about a new contract. I mean, that would have been the best option. There are also some sounds that Woodward doesn't want to sack him because he doesn't want it to be his last thing as a manager, as CEO of Manchester United, which I think is weird. That's a weird thing to claim. I mean, if that's the reason why you're not sacking someone, why just sack him, right? If that's the reason, just sack him and move on and ask Zidane. And then if it becomes a great success, then we'll say, okay, Woodward brought Zidane, right? I mean, we'll remember him for doing that. But so I definitely think, despite the terrible result, they should give him some time to work on something. And he should do something with tactics. He should do something. And he should definitely, let Pogba leave. Let Donny van de Beek play, Donny van de bench, right? who was an excellent player at Ajax. So give him the opportunity to show what he can do in midfield, because our midfield is terrible.
Well, can I ask Mr. Enriquez, because you mentioned Van Gaal and Mourinho, but you didn't mention Moyes. Obviously, Moyes is now a legend at West Ham because he's taken us to heights we haven't seen. Well, I haven't seen in my lifetime, and but obviously Moyes was the first Manchester United manager after Ferguson. He was appointed by Ferguson, but I think he got, was it 6 months or 8 months?
6 months,
just 6 months. And it seemed at the time it was a disaster because they didn't. I don't know where they finished in the league that year, or that they didn't win anything. But now that's continued with other managers. Would you have liked to have seen, with hindsight, with the benefit of hindsight, would you have liked to have seen Moyes given more time at Manchester United?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think that would have been better for the team as well. But then again, if you look at, I didn't follow Manchester that much in the Moyes era. But if you look at what Van Gaal definitely tried to do is work with the young people. That's something he's known for, right? That he works with young people. He does the same at our national team as well, work with young people.
Yeah.
I kind of see the same with Solskjaer, who's working with English players. He wants to, work with Rashford. He wants to work with McTominay, who's Scottish, not English, but still. He is from the Manchester United academy. Same with Rashford and
Greenwood.
Lingard.
Lingard, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Lingard.
And Greenwood, is Greenwood from
Greenwood
the
as well.
academy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think they need to be given time to build something, to of course, these young children who are children when they start, they grow up and become good players. Rashford is a bit off this season, probably because of his injury that he, had to which had to heal before he was able to play again. So Rashford is a bit off. He made a mistake with Maguire, definitely. He just has to be honest with that. But he did something excellent with Wan-Bissaka, right? I mean, Luke Shaw has played very well in some games. So I think the most important thing that if Moyes would have been given more time as well and really work on a philosophy, the same as Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger at Arsenal, I think they would have won something at some point, right? But it just takes time.
Yeah. So any of those managers, you feel that they all should have been given more time. That's the problem.
Maybe Mourinho wasn't the right person.
No,
right?
Mourinho never stays long.
No, but his defensive play and park the bus at home, those kinds of things. I mean, that's not Manchester United, right?
No, that's true.
As Paul Pogba said once while Mourinho was still there, we need to play attack, right? That's Manchester United. Attack.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, this is important, the philosophy of the club and the way they play, and you have to look at the history. And if it doesn't really match, then it can be an issue.
Yeah.
You said Rashford is a bit off, which I like. So it means he's not himself these days. He's not playing that well. So if someone is a bit off, like you can, let's say, it's like when milk goes off, right? It's not as good as it was before. So yeah, that's what this means. Also, there's another phrase, to have an off day.
Yeah.
To have an off day, which also means like it's not your best day. All right. Excellent. So there was one more thing I wanted to ask you about. In the Manchester derby, Luke Shaw suffered a blow, I think, into his head or something, had to be treated. He was treated. The game stopped for, 1-2 minutes, for quite a long time. And then he continued playing, and then he had to be taken off. They had to be subbed off. So it looked like he might have suffered a concussion. So I'm just wondering, like, why they let the player stay on the pitch for so long, even if it's obvious. Like they had to treat him for 3 minutes, and he couldn't. Like he seemed all like hazy, and So why do you think?
I think Solskjaer didn't want to substitute if it wasn't necessary. And of
Hmm.
course, as soon as it was obvious that it was a concussion, he had the free substitution.
Yeah.
Right, so he was able to substitute Shaw for someone else without losing one of his substitutes.
Right.
And maybe that was the reason why they waited for a while before substituting Shaw.
Don't you think this is dangerous, Ben, to wait so long? Shouldn't they just taken him off?
Yeah, I'm surprised they're
immediately?
doing that. Yeah, because they're being a lot more careful these days with head injuries, with any blows to the head. So I'm surprised that happened, because the physios should be able to identify any kind of concussion quite quickly. But
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it. But I guess when he started moving around and sort of running, maybe he noticed he wasn't quite right. But yeah, they're usually very careful. Any sign that it's not, something's not quite right, then they take them off immediately. But
Well, up in the first inspection, he really looked shaken. Like it was like you could see like he wasn't himself, and he was like, I don't know, like
it's strange.
It's
And of course, he's not a player to do that very often, right? He's not someone who would add extra theater to something. He's not someone who does that very often. I mean, Ronaldo would do that, but Luke Shaw is not a person to do that. So it was shocking to see him on the floor like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a pity we don't have Noop here today, because he's studying medicine. One of our regular guests here, so we could ask him what he thinks about this. Okay, so Chelsea drew against Burnley. That was a surprising result. Obviously, that's good for all our teams.
Yeah.
Chelsea,
nice.
I think, are for me personally, are up there among the title contenders. Probably on the top right now. I don't know.
I think so. At the moment, they look like the best team. It's funny, still strange for me as a West Ham fan to be included at that. Usually I'd be wanting Burnley to lose, so that because we'd be battling relegation with those types of teams, not up there with a chance of I'm not even going to say it out loud because it would sound strange.
You would jinx it.
Yeah, don't jinx it. Yeah,
it just doesn't, just not real.
Don't tempt luck, Ben.
So Ben, I was wondering, as a West Ham fan, what did you think of Lingard at West Ham?
He was great for the first, I think it was 6 weeks. He was, I mean, people were talking about him as the best player in the Premier League, even the world. I read one article saying at that moment he was the best player. He scoring, I think he scored 9 goals in 6 weeks or something, and 5 assists, and he was fantastic. I mean, he tailed off a bit. His form tailed off at the end of the season, but I mean it's still good, and he was great. I mean, one thing that people forget: we were 4th when he came. It's not like he saved us or he got us into the Europa League or anything. We were 4th, and he was fantastic, and I'm grateful for what he did. And I would love him to come back, but I'm not desperate for him to come back.
No.
I think there are other players out there. It depends how much he would cost. I wouldn't spend like 40 million on him, but he's
or 80 million, huh?
Yeah. So is that what they're asking?
No, I don't know, but
no.
There are worse ways to spoil 80 million pounds, right?
Exactly. I think he. Oh, I see. How Harry Maguire. Yeah. That was perhaps a bit excessive, but I think I was surprised he didn't want to stay at West Ham, because I think he. Well, I'm not surprised to choose between playing at Manchester United and with Ronaldo in the end and all those players, but I think he fit well into the squad. He had a good relationship with the others, and he was just happy. He was playing games, getting lots of minutes under his belt, and so he was good. It was good for everyone. I don't know if there's a possibility next January of him signing, but. He's not playing that much for Man United at the moment, is he?
I think his biggest motivation must be that he wants to get into that national team, into the England's team, right?
Yeah,
but he did. He got in through West Ham because he wasn't.
I know,
playing at
but
Man United.
Absolutely. But he wasn't at the Euros though, was he?
No.
No. So
no, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, but he
No,
was
fine.
at least he was considered by Southgate, by the England's manager. He was considered, and
Yeah.
I think he played in some of the um, pre-Euro matches or something.
Yeah,
He even
that's what I
scored a
mean.
few
It's
goals, I
obvious.
remember.
For me,
Yeah.
it's obvious that if he plays for West Ham, his chances increase rapidly.
Hmm.
In my opinion, if he plays for
He's just
Manchester
going to get.
United, there's no way he can get past Ronaldo or Cavani or even Rashford. Or it's just so
No,
hard
or
for him.
Martial. No.
There's no way.
There's
Well,
about
I
5 or
hope
6
that
players before him. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope that Solskjaer at some point does something with like 4-3-3, and then we'll have, McTominay, Van der Beek, and Lingard in midfield with Rashford and Martial or Ronaldo up front, and then another person, probably Greenwood there as well. That's attacking football. Those are very good attacking players, but he tends to lean towards Mourinho a bit too much and defend a lot instead of put high press. And I think Lingard, combined with Cavani, could be very good with high press.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think again, maybe it's unfair, but Solskjaer seems to be a bit overcautious. I was going to say scared, but overcautious to and that maybe you could accuse Mourinho of the same, but he has all those trophies to prove that his tactics work, but Solskjaer doesn't really have that behind him to back it up. No. So it's I don't know. I don't know if the problem is the manager or there's something more intrinsic, because it's been 10 years since Ferguson left, I think.
Nearly 10 years, yeah.
Yeah, so, and they haven't got anywhere near the previous glory days. So
No. So you said Lingard tailed off a bit. So that's when you mentioned this. You used this phrase when you were we were talking about Lingard, how good he was when he joined West Ham, but then he tailed off a bit, meaning his form wasn't got worse gradually. Diminished his.
Exactly. Gradually, it wasn't a sudden loss of form. It just wasn't as good as before, but he still played well and contributed to the team, to the performances. But
So, guys, I think it's time to talk about. I mean, I could mention Arsenal here. It's nothing to write home about. We beat Watford, 3 points.
Yeah,
count. We have we still on an unbeaten run, which is great. I would say it was a decent performance. It wasn't like super exciting or anything. It was 1-0. It's all right. But let's not talk about that. I want to talk about the West Ham Liverpool game, because that was the last game of the day. And for me personally, and not just because I like West Ham, but because I think it was the best game of the whole match week, because of the manner of the way I don't know what I'm saying right now, but I guess a lot of goals were scored, and it was exciting, and there were a lot of interesting tactical moves by especially David Moyes. We saw the best players completely I thought at loss, making huge mistakes. Anyway, let's talk about this. Did you see, first of all, before we ask Ben, obviously, did you see the game, Mr. Henriquez?
Well, I only saw the first half when I was at my in-laws, and then I had to move and go do something else. So I didn't see the second half. So I was rather surprised when I woke up and saw the result.
Yeah, I still haven't woken up. I think I'm still dreaming. But it's well, sorry, is Danik frozen?
Oh no, I'm here.
Yeah. Well, should I go now, or should I?
Okay. Where do we start? So you scored an early goal, which I think helped a lot. Yeah. But even as a fan, Ben, you going into this game as a fan, obviously, you keep winning these days. So you must have been confident that there is a chance you could beat Liverpool, or at least draw with them, or put in a great performance.
It's so strange being a West Ham fan now that, as I said in the last time I was on, it's about 40 years that I have been supporting West Ham that I remember. So all of those years, it's always been disappointments and false hopes, false dawns, thinking, oh, maybe we can do something this year, but then getting thrashed by Liverpool, Man City, or even losing to Burnley or someone like that. But for the last 18 months, we've been very solid and consistent, but still it's difficult. It's so many years of suffering, really, that it's difficult for me to be confident, especially against a team like Liverpool. I did think maybe we could get something from this match, but still there's something inside me saying, no, come on, it's West Ham. It's not going to happen. But there is something different. It's even against little teams when we're losing, like we may go 1-0 down, but I still think we're going to win this. We're going to be okay. In the past, I didn't think that. So when we scored the first goal, I thought this could happen. That's when when Liverpool equalised.
You mean when they scored your first goal? that was an Alisson own goal in the end. Alisson mistake.
Yeah.
There was
a Fornals goal.
And this goal is also surrounded by controversy, right? Because obviously Klopp claims that it was a foul on Alisson. What do you think?
I understand why he says that, but I don't see how it could be a foul. Ogbonna, I think, jumped in front of Alisson. He wasn't looking. He didn't know where Alisson was. He just jumped. You need to lift your arm when you jump. It's impossible to jump without lifting your arms. And Alisson clashed or bumped into Ogbonna, and it was bad goalkeeping. I think it was.
Yeah.
I don't see how it could be a foul. It wasn't. It's a natural movement. It was nothing unnatural about it. So Liverpool maybe, but I think it was, a goalkeeper of that standard should be doing better.
I remember.
Of course. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember the commentators using this phrase that Alisson didn't cover himself in glory, which I like a lot.
Yeah.
We've discussed this on this podcast. No, it's not a podcast. On this channel before. I do have a podcast too, so I'm confused what we are doing right now. So when you don't cover yourself in glory, it's just an understatement. It basically means you don't do a good job, right?
Disaster, basically. It is a very British English way of saying it's rubbish. So
exactly. I'm not sure. By the way, I may have misspelled Alisson's name. I don't know if this is the right spelling. So I apologize if there are any Liverpool fans watching this. Mr. Henriquez, you said you had seen the first half, yeah? So what do you make of this? What do you make of this incident then?
Well, to be honest, I don't really remember the incident that well because I was looking with kind of a, in the television was in the other room and I was kind of listening to my girlfriend, but also trying to watch the television. So I don't remember that incident that much, but I do remember the attacking play of West Ham that kind of caught my attention for the rest of the game.
Yeah. So this happened at the start of the game. And then, obviously, Liverpool were trying to get back, but Ben, I thought West Ham defended really well. Yeah. So they kind of pulled back a little bit, right? There was like a block, let's say, dominated defense, a lot of headers, fantastic headers. Yeah. It was hard for Liverpool, and then Salah arguably dived, and they had a free kick.
Yeah, very nice, by the way. Very nice free kick.
Piece of brilliance. That was such a brilliant routine. It was a great routine, first of all. Yeah. Trent Alexander-Arnold scored a world-class goal.
Yeah.
And that was before the halftime.
Yeah. Whether it was a free kick or not, I don't. There's a very fine line between diving and falling down very easily. Was there maybe that slight contact? Maybe, but I don't know nowadays. But
I don't know.
But it was a very well worked free kick. Just they moved it just a meter to the right, and that gave him the angle to put it around the wall and into the top corner. Exactly. The postage stamp, as we call it, the top corner, top right hand corner. But I think in general, West Ham. I mean, Declan Rice. I spoke about him a lot the last time I was on. Declan Rice is a world-class midfielder. He's a legend. He's going to be is going to break all kinds of records, and he was so important. But also the defense, Cresswell, Zuma has been fantastic. He came from Chelsea. Ogbonna. I mean, this Moyes has to take a lot of credit too. He organises. We're so well organised that they move as a unit, and that gives us the freedom to counter attack with some good attacking players, which is always a threat to the opposition. So the opposition are always worried about we could counter attack. I think West Ham had 31% of the possession in that match, which is obviously very little, but it's what you do with it that's important. Not you can have the possession, but I think that was a plan. That was the strategy, just to soak up the pressure, and with set pieces, we're the best team in the league, in the Premier League, at set pieces, so corners and free kicks.
Do you know it was Arsenal actually before this match? It was Arsenal because I saw the stats. Yeah, until this match.
So where's United on the list? Is it like fourth, fifth?
I didn't check, Mr Henriquez.
7, 6.
From the bottom, most likely.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I don't know.
I had to think of the United game while watching Liverpool West Ham. That how easy it was for Mo Salah to really counter and just go through the defense of. Through United's defense without any difficulty, and then West Ham was able to block literally everything. That he wasn't able to do his thing.
No, he did nothing. He did absolutely nothing. It frustrated him as well, because if you are a player like him, then you expect the best things from yourself, I think, and he must have been frustrated with himself as well. It wasn't happening for him, and it wasn't happening for anyone else in the Liverpool team. Really. Well, I thought the best player was Van Dijk, which. Who you obviously know very well, Mr. Enriquez. Yeah. Virgil van Dijk, he was playing really, really well. Yeah.
He's a fantastic player, but I mean, Salah, they've been talking about Salah recently as the best player in the world. So to keep him,
put my hand up for that.
Yeah, me too. I think he probably is the best player in the world at the moment, but they kept him quiet the whole match. And I mean, with a team like Liverpool, you can keep one player quiet, but usually there are others that pop up and do the job. But we managed to contain them, and that's, I think Moyes has to take so much credit. I think the two most important people in West Ham at the moment are Moyes and Declan Rice. I think that Moyes organises the team, and Declan Rice is just everywhere. He's going to be hopefully he'll be a West Ham legend, but I think he is already a legend, but he'll be leaving soon, I imagine, either in January or next summer. To one of
where do you see him going?
I think Man United could be I think. Well, I don't know if you agree, but I think they need a player like Declan Rice, because Pogba's not really doing it. Matic isn't really doing it, and I think a young player like Rice, who has a lot of personality, charisma. He's the captain of West Ham now, and I think he will be the captain of England. Someone like that. He's just a good, hard worker. He doesn't have a big ego. I think he would be good at. I don't want to see him anywhere except West Ham. But
you know what? He might be changing his mind about this right now. Look how great West Ham are doing. I've said it here before, but he could become a West Ham legend. He just needs to win something with West Ham. And when else would you do it than now, right? If you are him, I'm sure he's very ambitious. Yeah, I think he wants to make that transfer one day, but it's not time now. In my opinion, he should wait a few more years.
I think he might end up on the bench as well at United. So it might not be a good thing for him to go to Manchester right now, especially with Donny van de Beek, who definitely needs to play. So I think
he shouldn't be on the bench anyway.
I might say something controversial here, but I don't think he would be on any team's bench. This player, I'm so sorry, but he's so good.
Yeah, he is very good. But we still have Solskjaer, who trusts Pogba, Matic, and
I know, but he would be shooting himself in the foot if he did that, because Declan Rice, he has so much to offer. I've seen all West Ham matches, and it's just incredible.
Yeah, but I understand. I think he could walk into any team and be on the team sheet. But Solskjaer, maybe he's a bit has very he's very stubborn and very fixed in his ways.
Yeah.
So that would be a disaster. I mean, even he's linked with Chelsea, I think Liverpool, Man United. Maybe he could go abroad, but as you said, Zdenek, if we can qualify for the Champions League either through the league or by winning the Europa League, why move? I mean, that's the ultimate goal, is to play for your country, which he will, and to play in the Champions League. Obviously, he wants to win the Champions League and win trophies, but
also
why move?
The kind of position he has in West Ham, the team that he has around him, the characters. You can see those players, like there's a great atmosphere and dynamic in the team.
Yeah,
they love playing with each other.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. And the fans are behind the team, and it's just, you can see that they must feel that they are creating something incredible. And it's because in United, everybody expects them. There's so much pressure on the players. Like everybody, they all expect them to win. It's the same in Arsenal. Actually, the culture is different, right? And this is amazing for them. So I'm sure he wants to be part of that. And
maybe that's also something that's a bit unfair if you look at Arsenal and Chelsea and Man United, especially Arsenal, of course, who also have a very good history and great history. We put so much pressure on those people at United and at Arsenal that they don't get the time to build something. Whereas West Ham, nobody really expected anything, or was expecting anything from them, and now they're doing fine. And every time they win, they go like, "Oh, this is good. Well, good for you that you're winning." But it's not like when they lose against, Liverpool, everybody goes, "Oh, terrible, terrible." No, it's just okay. Well, they lost against Liverpool, and I think that's different if you look at United and Arsenal.
Yeah, no, that's true. And it reminds me of a little bit Leicester's story, actually.
Leicester as well. Yeah,
I was thinking that. Yeah, I think with Leicester, everything, the stars aligned, so to speak. That Ranieri was just the perfect manager at the perfect time. They had Kante, they had Mahrez, they had Vardy. I can't remember the captain, the defender. The stars aligned. Who was Morgan? That was Captain Morgan in the defence. Schmeichel in goal, and they had really good atmosphere, good camaraderie, and some luck too. I think West Ham have been a little bit lucky sometimes, which you've never had in the past. And they've that's why Leicester won. It all combined. They didn't have many injuries. Injuries when they won. At the moment, West Ham are in a very similar position. We have the best manager for us, not the best manager in the world, but the best manager for us. Declan Rice. That's some real quality players that will probably in a few years be playing at big clubs. At least this season we could do something. I don't think we will win the Premier League.
But you don't have to, like, even if you make top 4 or win anything else, a cup or come on,
Europa League.
That's going to be amazing.
You
can definitely do at least one of these things. It's possible. It's on the table. Top 4 League Cup. You're in the quarterfinals of the League Cup now. You're about to play Spurs. No offense to Spurs, but they're just Spurs. And then Europa League. Anything can happen there. It's not going to be easy. And because of how consistent you've been, I think you stand a really good chance for top 4 as well. So
yeah.
I think what you said about Moyes being the manager for you, I think that's the same if you look at his time at United. Maybe he wasn't the right manager for United at that time.
Mm-hmm.
They needed someone who was able to take over from someone who is that great, like Sir Alex Ferguson, and maybe he wasn't the right person to do it.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to know who is going to be the right manager. As Man United is still looking, and I thought with West Ham we had Manuel Pellegrini last, and I thought he was going to be great for West Ham, and it was not a disaster, but not great fit. So you just don't know until it happens, until you start. And I have to be completely honest, I didn't want Moyes as our manager. I was angry, I was livid when they decided to give him the permanent job. I thought, no, because
that was his second spell as well. That's his second spell. So I don't understand, like how So when was the first one? Was it like?
It's when it was after Bilic. I think Slaven Bilic was sacked. I think.
But that was
And
not a long time ago, right?
About.
That's.
It must have been about 4 years ago because.
So we are talking
Pellegrini
after the United spell as well, right? But this was just like weird. It's all weird.
Yeah. Well, Moyes was after Man United. He was Sunderland. He went to Sunderland, and Sunderland got relegated. Then he went to Real Sociedad in Spain.
Okay.
And that was a disaster. They still laugh about him now in Spain. You know, he had old-fashioned tactics and old-fashioned training sessions.
Did he do better than Gary Neville in?
I think slightly, yeah. Wait, what's happening?
Oh, you're back.
Everyone
Something he shuffled.
Yeah, it's shuffled. Yeah.
Faces have been shuffled now. No.
No idea. I'm in the center now on my screen.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm,
I have no idea what happened.
It's got a mind of its own, but yeah, not as bad as Gary Neville, but pretty bad. So when he came to West Ham, his reputation was in tatters, and we were in a relegation battle, and we didn't get relegated, but he didn't do much. We had a very bad win ratio. So then we got Pellegrini, which is for about 2 years or a year and a half. And then we were in another relegation battle. So the owners decided to contact Moyes again, and they just gave him the permanent job. And I'm sure 99.9% of West Ham fans didn't want Moyes. Now we're all eating our words, and we all love Moyes. He is a legend. I'm completely. I was wrong, completely wrong. He's perfect for West Ham. He's probably our best manager since the 80s, I think. So
wow.
Yeah. Since our best league position in our history was in 1986. I think we finished third. It was Liverpool, Everton, or no, maybe Everton, Liverpool, and West Ham. We finished third. But since then, I haven't finished higher than. Well, sixth last season was the highest finish since then. So he is our most successful manager since then. I mean, we haven't won anything, but we finished sixth, qualified for Europe. So I was completely wrong about Moyes, and we love him now.
When he came to West Ham, you said that his reputation was in tatters, which means it was really badly damaged. Nobody wanted him back, not even you.
No, definitely
but
not.
now you are, as you said, eating your words, right? To eat
I'm eating
your words, which is another good phrase, which means you admit. I admit I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I admit I was wrong. Yeah.
I was wrong. Yeah. It's as I said, all West Ham fans are eating their words, and I think it's great. It's a fantastic story. Moyes, he's a very confident guy, but he must have been affected by his failures or perceived failures, and now to be doing so well, to be above Manchester United, especially after after what happened, and to be beating Man United in the League Cup, I think it's like a Hollywood film in some ways. I mean, it hasn't finished yet. We're in the middle of it, but let's see where it goes. It could still go bad, but at the moment we're enjoying it. So I'd like to send a message to Moyes myself and say sorry, but I don't have his number. So I can't do that.
And I have to say, it's so infectious. Which it's like it's just watching West Ham play. Of course, I kind of started watching West Ham matches because of the Czech players. I guess some inner patriotism. I'm not even that patriotic. I'm not, but because I love Premier League, and obviously I support the Czech national team. It was so nice to see some more Czech players in the Premier League, which is the best league in the world, of course.
Definitely.
We had some players there in the past, but it was never too many. It was always like 1, 2, Petr Cech, Tomáš Rosický, maybe Karol Poborský at some point was played for Manchester United, but that's a long time ago.
Tomáš Repka.
That's why it's difficult to say Křetinský.
The R is like that.
It exists, as far as I know. It only exists in Czech, this sound. So Křetinský, Tomáš Repka.
For me, it's difficult enough saying it in Spanish. Rotulador. So Repka. Thomas Repka.
Thomas Repka.
Yeah,
So
it was good.
it's but you see, like even without those Czech players, now it's just so much fun watching West Ham play. Yeah.
Yeah, again, as you said, like Leicester, it's like party time. We're just enjoying it. As Mr. Enriquez said, it's just fun.
Yeah.
There's no pressure. If we lose,
No.
if we had lost against Liverpool, people would say, okay, West Ham lost against Liverpool. That's kind of expected, but we won, so it's all good. If we lose, I think we're playing Wolves in the next match. If we lose that, it will be disappointing, but again, we'll still be fourth, I think, in the league. So that's it's still happy days, and we'll just enjoy it while it lasts. And
Yeah, I really miss those happy days, though. I really miss, I miss the when you could really be proud of something. And of course, I am a Man United fan, so it's not a small team doing excellent stuff, right? And I am absolutely proud of Rashford and the things he's doing outside of football. I think that's something I'm definitely proud of, and he's an example to many players. But I think there's not much to be proud of when you look at the football.
But that's one of the risks or one of the disadvantages of supporting a big team. It's relative. No, you could win 10 matches and lose 2, and that's not, you're not happy. I mean, well, that's an exaggeration, but this is a fantastic season for West Ham.
Yeah.
For Man United, if you were in the same position as West Ham, it will be okay, pretty good. But for us, it's all good.
No, these teams, they need to win something, or even when you finish you come second, it's nothing.
No.
So you said, Ben, we play Wolves next week.
Mm-hmm.
If we lose that, it will be disappointing. So I just want to point to this grammar structure, which is called first conditional. So you're referring to the future. You say if the subject is we, then the verb lose, which is in present simple tense. If you lose, it will be disappointing. So in the second clause, you go will plus infinitive. So for example, Mr. Henriquez could say, if we don't win the league, we will be gutted as United fans, or something like that.
Or they will sack Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, definitely.
Right, yeah. Okay. Also, lose with the z sound, lose. Yeah, there's another word, loose, with double O. That's pronounced with a s sound. So, for example, I'd say if you play football and you could have a tight shirt, maybe your shirt may be a bit loose. Maybe if you have wrong size, if you have you should be wearing medium, but they give you L, large size of the shirt. Then it's loose. It's kind of loose on you, right? Okay, guys. So do you want to? Let's just quickly take a look before we wrap this up. Let's take a look at the table. So I'm gonna.
Oh yeah, please.
I'm sure Ben is going to love it.
I've got it. I've taken so many screenshots of the table.
Can I hide? Can I hide? Oh wait, this is good defending.
Yeah. Sorry about this.
Okay.
Hang on. I'm gonna show it in a better way. Okay, here we go. So Chelsea on top. That's, I think, Marvin will be happy, and another of our regular guests here, Marvin, will like to see that. Man City, second place.
Obviously.
But level with West Ham on points.
Same points, yeah.
Same points, yeah.
Lovely.
Liverpool in the third place. Then
I mean, that's
Arsenal.
good, right? That's good. Liverpool fourth. They're fourth. That's good.
Yep. Oh, it's very open. I mean, it's just Chelsea that worries me a bit, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's Chelsea, West Ham, and Arsenal are the form teams at the moment. They're the ones that are. Chelsea drew their last match, but Arsenal haven't lost since the third match, have they? You lost your first 3 matches. And
wait, I wrote it down somewhere. I don't know. It's we are on an unbeaten run. Maybe it might be something like 9 games or something like that. Not sure. We just lost the first 3 matches. You're right, and then I think we have won, or there were a few draws in between, but we've won everything, including the League Cup match, I think.
And they're playing Liverpool next.
If I were to bet, I would obviously bet against Arsenal in this game.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Well, you never know.
you never
Right.
know. Yeah, but we're not West Ham. Yeah.
No, of course. Who is?
So
Not
I
getting
don't know.
cocky.
I also heard that Aubameyang, like there are rumors that he might want to go
Yeah.
Right.
in
It's
January.
been going on for quite some time, right? In the summer, there were also some rumors of Aubameyang leaving.
Where
He's
would he
our
go?
best player, so it would be very, very disappointing. So
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll take him. We need a striker to cover for Antonio.
Yeah.
But I don't think he'll sit on the bench.
Also, Norwich in the last place, but they won their first game, which was a bit bizarre that after winning their first game, they sacked the manager.
Yeah,
Daniel Farke, they sacked him after their first win.
it's crazy.
What do you make of that?
I think it's it's the nature of football. Obviously, the decision had been taken before the match. Obviously, that whatever he did or whatever the team did, they were going to sack him. Similar. I mean, Aston Villa. Just looking now, they've lost their last 5 matches, but I think Dean Smith has been a good manager for them. That was a bit a shock too. The Aston Villa manager.
They need to do better than this. You know, they are the team from Birmingham. It's a traditional club. This is not good enough. Look at Burnley.
Yeah.
Burnley, they managed to get a draw against Chelsea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
It's an open season. It's an open.
Yeah.
If Chelsea hadn't drawn that game, they would be on 28 points now. They would be a 5-point gap. So it's good that it happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
it's I mean, dreamland to see that West Ham are just 3 points off the top after 11 matches. As I said,
enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. We'll see after Christmas. Christmas is the key.
Yeah.
The key period in England for the football. So we'll see in January.
All right. Just gonna put up a few comments on the screen quickly. 11 games without losing. Arsenal are back. Yeah.
11 games without losing. Wow.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I wasn't sure about. I think it's because it includes the League Cup games as well.
Yeah. And Arsenal are not in Europe, are they, this year?
No, which is quite helpful actually. I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Focus on more important things, I guess.
All right, guys. I have to thank you very much for today's appearance on
Thanks for having us.
Learn English with Football show. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I did. Yeah, it was great.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much for all your insights about your teams. And also, I have to thank to our viewers. And if you want, you can check out Ben's To The Point English YouTube channel as well as Mr Henriquez's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zanik.
You're very welcome, guys. Take care.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Take care.
See
Bye.
you.